Welcome to The Experience. I'm your host, Steve Fox. Tonight I'm joined by three local residents that are Reiki masters, and I'll tell you who they are shortly, but first let me tell you that we're broadcasting live, so if you'd like to add your questions or comments, you can do so by giving us a call at the studio. That number is 343-3130. Today is Thursday, October 14th, 1999. And if you were tuning in and you haven't already guessed, our topic for tonight is Reiki. And I invite you to give in a call, or if you'd like, you can visit us on the web on our new updated website at www.fatv.org/experience, or you can email us at experience@fatv.org. Now, Mark didn't tell me this, but apparently our opening was a little shorter. All of a sudden I see the alien face, and I'm like, wait a second. I'm so used to having those 2 minutes to sit and relax and contemplate. And now I couldn't because it was shorter. Thank you, Mark. I'll live.
Keeping you on your toes.
Thank you. Anyway, tonight I'm joined by Deborah and John O'Brien and Julie Needham of Guiding Light, I don't know, what would you call it, a Reiki place?
It's a name for the place that we do Reiki.
In Leominster.
In Leominster, yeah.
And I just have a few questions, because that's what we do here. Mm-hmm. What is Reiki?
Well, the breakdown of the word breaks into universal energy, and it's a treatment that's usually done in an hour, non-invasive, head to toe, front to back. Basically what it does is balance the endocrine system, or the chakra points in Eastern philosophy. When we do a treatment, what most of my clients experience is relaxation. If they have pain in a certain area, they'll usually feel free of the pain, or it's less than. I also teach Reiki to people so that they can actually be practitioners, and they learn much more about themselves. It brings a total awareness to the body.
Now, do you need to be, a certain person to be able to take these classes, or can anyone learn how to do
Anyone can learn how to do Reiki.
What got you interested? Who introduced you to this? How did you stumble upon it?
Well, I'm a nurse in the area, and I was looking for something that I could maybe share with my patients, because, and anyone that's a nurse out there knows that it's become a really unreal field some days. And I was looking for something that was relaxing for me, something simple though. And I had experienced therapeutic touch, which is an incredible treatment in itself, but for me, it seemed like it was just too much work to be able to do with a client. I happened to be looking through a magazine one day, and I saw that they were having a fair in Worcester, and one of the subjects was Reiki. So I went over, and I went, and I experienced it, and I was amazed.
Now, your husband, John, is also a Reiki master.
Yes, he is.
Is this a family practice, so to speak, or?
Actually, it is, because my mother, who just passed away in May, was a Reiki practitioner.
Did you train her? Or
yes, I did. I did, and it was an incredible experience to attune my mom, and she used to do it to other patients where she was. And my sister is a Reiki master. My brother-in-law is a Reiki master.
All in the family.
Yes, and they live in Indiana, so we spread it out. And then I met John, and he became a Reiki master.
So was that like a prerequisite? You needed to
when I ordered him up from the universe, yes. I said, he must want to do this, because it's spiritual for me. And it's changed my life, and I certainly did want to share it with my mate.
Now, from a guy's perspective, the first time I heard about it, I'm always intrigued. I don't know if I would actually go out and learn how to do it, but it's intrigued me. Mm-hmm. How did that, when you first started doing this, has your wife been doing it longer than you had?
Oh my God, yeah, she's
for me, it's 6 years. For him, it's 2.5.
Oh, so you're still relatively new.
I'm relatively new to it, but when she first started introducing me to it, I was a little bit nervous, and I was thinking to myself, what is this lady trying to do to me? And I had my first treatment, my first attunement as a Reiki 1 practitioner, and I felt very good. I felt very good. I felt very enlightened.
Now, did you believe in this at first, or were you skeptical, or what? part of it made you realize that, hey, this is actually something that's legit.
I was skeptical, about a lot of different things that she told me, but it's funny that everything that she told me, right, came true. She told me one day, right, she says, "John, there's money in the mailbox." I looked at her and I said, "Poor kid." Right?
Well, you're not doing this for the money, though.
She went down to but she went down to the mailbox, right? And there was a check in the mailbox for us, right? I mean, she's very good, she everything she says to me, right, it happens. And
So are you saying she has some kind of psychic connection? Do you feel that? Well, let me ask you.
Spiritual
connection. Do you feel there needs to be some kind of psychic? Because from my understanding is a lot of the I don't want to say diagnosing, but a lot of the work is you look at the aura and you work with the aura. I believe that's how it was addressed to me at one point, that maybe it's some practitioners actually work by working with the aura.
I think some practitioners do. I don't think that you need to be able to see the aura. Anyone can learn how to do Reiki. And as far as intuitiveness, yes, we all are. I find with my students and myself, having received attunements, that usually they do become a little bit more intuitive.
Okay. Yeah. Now, to John's left is another one, Julie. How do you fit into this? Are you a relative or are you a friend?
I'm a sister.
Just a friend, yeah.
Now, how long have you been practicing?
A little over 2 years.
Oh, so relatively the same amount of time. Did she train both of you in the same class, or did she have you both come over for dinner?
No, actually longer.
2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
about
you've
3,
been
I
about
guess,
3 and a
because it was
half.
before John. No, we were in different classes, but yes, she was my Reiki master. She made me a Reiki master.
And now, is this something you do now as you're living, or do you do? Are you like
I still do some nursing.
All right, so
yeah,
you're a nurse
I still,
as well.
I still nurse. Yeah.
How does the modern medicine and the doctors that you work with, do they know about this, and how do they perceive it? Are they open to it, or are they still kind of,
Well, some are open.
Mm-hmm.
Some are not. And that's okay. It's really about the patients.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about what they want. We try not to tread on anyone's toes. In doing Reiki, one must always ask permission. We can't just randomly do it on a doctor's patient, but if a patient requests it, yes, I would do it on them. We're not out to cause any problems with doctors. I think education is a big thing, though. I think we can't leave the spirit of the individual out of healing anymore. Right. It's important. And
with all this managed care, things get undermanaged.
Well, and being a nurse for a long time, you see a lot of things that go on that, hopefully someday will change. But I think that we need to keep an open mind in using both, what we do and with medicine. It's complementary. It's mind, body, and spirit. But I think we've left the spirit out for too long. When you say to a patient, well, there's no more hope. You don't really know what the spirit has in mind for that person, though. Right. And we need to address that.
Okay.